a group of radical Muslims, the Council on American-Islamic Relations, filing a lawsuit against the Abercrombie and Fitch store chain because a manager fired a Muslim woman who refused to remove her headscarf. And they have the nerve to march outside Abercrombie and Fitch headquarters with a headline, "Women covered from head to toe looking like medieval throwbacks," saying the hijab is freedom. So I think we should have a frank and open discussion on the savage nation, since we're being assaulted by medieval rules in a modern society. We have an attack here on our freedoms of women, by a medieval concept of wrapping women up because they are threats to males' frail egos. So I will ask you, the audience, is the hijab freedom or enslavement of women? Most Muslim women do not want to be wrapped up like mummies, in my estimation. So you wrap a woman up like a mummy in order to suppress her sexuality, in order to make sure that other men don't even look at her, in order to deny her beauty being shown, let's say, to the world. And then you say that's freedom. You brainwash the women into thinking that that's freedom. Now, if that's what you believe, then you should stay in Syria or the Sudan or Chad. But certainly don't expect the American people to buy into that lie, is how I look at it. And that's why I say, is the hijab freedom or the enslavement of women? Let's have a frank discussion. As you well know, the Council on American-Islamic Relations is a front group for very dangerous organizations, according to many, many investigators. And now they're using our laws in a Trojan horse manner, religious freedom, to sue everyone in sight. The complaint came 5 months after the EEOC, another front group for the most despicable elements of the legal profession, sued the clothing retailer over a similar complaint. What you don't know is that EEOC forced the Abercrombie chain to pay $50 million in 2004. They also agreed to the following. You ready for this? Now remember, CAIR is one of the nation's largest Muslim pressure groups in the United States. So they fired another suit because they saw $50 million hanging there. And so here's what they did last. In the past, when they were sued, the EEOC, another disgusting, useless, evil, aggressive organization. The EEOC should be closed down by the Republicans, by the way. The EEOC should be written off and taken off the charts. It's a horrible organization. It makes any business person, it almost makes your life impossible. Listen to what the EEOC did to the Abercrombie chain back in 2004. In the 2004 case, the EEOC alleged that Abercrombie's hiring, recruiting, and marketing practices systematically excluded minorities and women. And as part of the consent decree that these criminals in the EEOC got out of them, the retailer agreed not to discriminate against job applicants based on race, color, and national origin, blah, blah, blah. But listen, the store agreed to hire a monitor to ensure compliance with this decree and to hire 25 diversity recruiters and a vice president for diversity. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I once worked for a local radio station that made the mistake of hiring diversity trainers for the radio station staff. I was the only one amongst everyone to stand up and tell them what I thought of them. I felt as though I were in a Nazi re-education camp. I never saw such a sham in my entire life. But what's worse is I found out that these low-life, unlicensed vermin called diversity trainers, who were forced down our throats to tell us that Christianity was no good, that every other religion on the planet was good, that people of color were superior to white people. I had to sit and listen to this crap, and I didn't. I stood up and said, "Go to hell, all of you," and I walked out. You asked people who were there. I wouldn't take it. They never hired diversity trainers in that station again. But here's the horror. Those diversity trainers go to Annapolis, the Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy, the Army Academies. They lecture our military on diversity. These low-life, thieves, anti-American vermin have the nerve to lecture admirals who are protecting us about the wonders and beauties of diversity in this manner.